everybody, Sarah Peternell here with Family Nutrition Services. I am going to do a fun demonstration video today about how to make your own celery juice. I get this question a lot. I get it all the time, I think, because celery juice is kind of one of those new fad diet drinks that a lot of people think, oh, I can just drink celery juice and I'll meet my weight loss goals, or I can, clear up my skin, I can do a detox, whatever the case might be. And the truth is that there is some beneficial value, obviously, to drinking celery juice for those purposes, such as helping to regulate your digestive system. If you've been having some indigestion, heartburn, maybe some bloating, gas, definitely doing some celery juice is a great way to kind of right the ship. It does have detoxification properties, and so if you've been maybe eating too many acidic foods, too much meat, too much dairy, too much processed foods, too much junk foods, doing some celery juice can also be a great way just to kind of help clear out any toxins. Celery juice is really good for helping your body, obviously, to absorb and balance electrolytes, and it also really helps to support the kidneys, and it helps with purification of the urinary tract as well. So there are really great benefits to drinking celery juice, but it isn't really a magic diet drink. I just want to state that because there really is no such thing as any one food or any one supplement that will do it all. You might read on the internet otherwise that, like, I lost 15 pounds with drinking only celery juice. A lot of times these are kind of misleading claims. But celery juice is great. In fact, I was just in Nashville over the weekend at the Urban Market, one of the coolest restaurants I've ever been to, and they had an amazing juice bar. I was there with one of my best friends from college, and I ordered a green juice that had primarily celery in it, and so we got to talking about the benefits of celery juice, and literally a few minutes after we were having this conversation, I got a text message from my brother in Manhattan who said, what do you think about celery juice? So I decided to do this video. So it's really easy to make your own celery juice at home. You can spend like $10 or $15 in some places on an organic celery juice elixir, as they call them sometimes, in some of the juice bars, but you can do this at home for like 45 cents. You do have to have a good juicer. I highly, highly recommend the Hurom. It's H-U-R-O-M. I have mine right here. I got it a couple of years ago. It replaced our old Breville juicer, which was also wonderful. We'd had it for about 15 years, and finally just the motor went kaput. So we've replaced our juicer with the Hurom. I love it because it does all kinds of things, not just juicing, but also it can make fresh nut milk, and has a variety of different kind of techniques. Like you can even do like an ice cream base that you can pour into your ice cream maker. If you've watched my other video on making healthy sweet treats for kids, this would be another great kitchen tool for helping you to make those homemade ice creams, especially if you have dairy-free kids or are trying to avoid certain ingredients. So back to our celery juice. I've already cut and prepped a whole small stalk of celery. It's really, you don't really need that much, because the thing is I get questions too for people who've started doing celery juicing and they're like feeling terrible because they might be drinking too much. You kind of have to start out slow, okay? You actually don't want to overdo it with celery juice because of some of its medicinal properties. If it upsets the balance too quickly or too intensely, maybe in the beginning, that wouldn't feel so good. So I've taken just one small stalk of organic celery, and I have cut it, I've washed it, and I've cut it up into about 1 to 2 inch pieces. And I've just been storing it in the refrigerator so it would get really, really, really cold, because I think cold celery juice tastes better than room temperature celery juice. So don't pick up a celery stalk, wash it, and juice it right away, because if it's at room temperature from the farmer's market or the grocery store, it will taste kind of disgusting. So I have my juicer set so that just a tiny bit of pulp will be released into my juice. I actually like it that way. Some people prefer a pulpless celery juice, but I feel like getting just a little bit of that fiber helps not only with the absorption of the nutrients, but it also prevents that quick rush of the small amount of sugars that you get from a juice like this from going into the bloodstream too quickly. Okay, so my juicer makes a small noise. It's not too loud. And basically all you do is you just take your cold celery chunks and you just start feeding it into your juicer. Pretty easy. The kids love helping with this. We do a lot of juices in our house, a lot of fresh juices, and the kids like to come up with their own recipes. If I'm just juicing for myself, I stick mainly to green things. Today it's going to be just the pure celery juice. And if you can see over here on this side, the pulp is coming out into one container, and a little bit of juice kind of started to come out into my collection cup. What I'm actually going to do is keep it closed so it can incorporate all of the juice before I pour it into my glass. So it just takes a couple of minutes. If you have one of these produce pushers to kind of help it go through a little bit better so that you don't get big chunks of like leaves or, you know, stems or whatever in your juice, that's also very helpful. So I've done the whole small stock. Again, it fit in this container, which is about a 2-cup container. And I just let the juicer run for a couple of minutes, or a couple of seconds really, just to kind of incorporate the juice. The Huron actually will blend it for you, so rather than it just coming out into the glass, it will stir it a few times. And then it's pretty much ready to go. So you can turn it off, empty your juice into your dispensing carafe. And I had a lot of fun in Nashville, so this is a perfect remedy. My little kind of post-Nashville celery juice detox for today. Just want to kind of show you what this looks like. My glass here, this is my dispensing glass. So it made about, that one stock, it made about 8 ounces. What I wanted to point out is that some people, even after they have made their juice, they like to strain it. So you can do that with just a couple of really simple kitchen tools, which would be this really fine mesh colander or fine mesh sieve and a plastic spatula or a rubber spatula. And then if you want to, which like I said, I actually like a little bit more pulp in mine, you can pour it into the sieve and just kind of get out any of the fibrous pieces. I'm not going to do that because I like it this way, but I'm going to show you kind of what is left over in your juice for some people who don't really want this left over. I think that's kind of, I like to call that the magic. That's like the good stuff. So I'm going to leave mine in there, but just know that if you have a juicer and you're kind of a purist and you don't want a lot of extra pulp, you can always take that extra step. I'm just going to pour mine right into a juice glass. It made about 8 ounces. This is the perfect amount. It's best if you can drink celery juice perhaps on an empty stomach first thing, maybe before coffee. If you have a lemon water routine in the morning before coffee or tea, this is a great substitute for a couple of days each week. You saw how quick and easy it was for me to make this celery juice, and it tastes delicious. Super easy, very healthy, very good for you. Please just remember that adding something like this into your daily routine, whether you're picking up a fresh juice from the juice bar, someplace like Herb and Market in near Nashville, or maybe you have a local juicery, a local juice bar, or you're making it home, you're just incorporating this into your already healthy lifestyle. Drinking celery juice does not replace eating a whole foods-based diet with plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables, preferably organic, high-quality protein, healthy fats, a reasonable amount of complex carbohydrates, also drinking plenty of water, sparkling water, herbal teas, any other fresh juices that you want to make, also kombucha. This is part of a healthy food plan routine and not a substitute for sometimes the choices that we make on vacation or when we get too busy or when we're just not really focusing on our health and nutrition. This is just a great complement to that. So I'm getting ready to go to yoga here in a few minutes, and I thought that starting off with my celery juice would be a great way to start the day. I wanted to share with you guys the benefits of celery juice, show you how easy it is to make it at home. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. Please check out my website, sarahpeternell.com. I have a resource there for any of you breastfeeding mamas who are interested in the facts and details about celery juice if you're breastfeeding. So check that out on my website under my blog, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back soon. Thanks again.